my God.
And I don't do that, and I stand with him. And if you don't stand with my young black brother, I'm gonna have a problem with you.
Shady, can I stand with the truth? The truth is, the angry black man agenda is a real thing throughout the course of society. For those that don't know, I wrote a book, a New York Times best-selling book, and chapter 5 of the book is called The Mythical Me, The Angry Black Man. So I have given more to this conversation than tweets. I have given more to this conversation than an Instagram post. I have dedicated months, if not years of my life to this conversation. The angry black man is a legitimate thing. What I will submit to you all is this very simple picture. LeBron James, I believe, was cradling Giselle on the cover of Vogue. Right? Many people did not realize that this was subjecting LeBron to the angry black man myth because King Kong was seen doing the same thing, holding this damsel in distress. Why does LeBron James look angry? Meanwhile, this white woman, Giselle, looks all nice and beautiful and quaint. This is being subjected to the myth of the angry black man. Just to allow y'all some further education, a term that was really coined and really started to exist more so in society dating back to 1915. Draymond Green, you're not the angry black man because you decide to punch people in the face, decide to kick people in the face, decide to punch teammates. So many things that I will bring on the screen so you can display. You step on Sabonis. You got the most technical fouls and flagrant fouls since you entered the league. Draymond Green, you're not an angry black man. You're just a dirty basketball player. That's what we believe you to be. What I cannot stand is when people try to hide behind legitimate racial issues in society because there are legitimate racial issues in society. There are 3 black men currently sitting up at this desk. Several times throughout the course of our life, we have been subjected to the racial stereotype of being angry black men. But Draymond Green, because you hit Nas Reed in the face, or because you hit LeBron James in the groin, because you step on Sabonis, because you hit Van Fleet, because you punch your own teammate Jordan Poole, we're not suggesting you're an angry black man. We're simply suggesting you might be a dirty basketball player because you do what nobody else in the NBA does, at least not as frequently or as consistently as other people in the NBA. So I do not like when he suggests a term that is a very legitimate term in society because ultimately what it does is it undermines the potency of that term when people legitimately bring it up. That is why I draw such frustration with Draymond now trying to hide behind the veil of people assuming he's an angry black man. Draymond, we just assume, those who do assume, you're a dirty basketball player, not that you're an angry black man, big dog.
See, and that's where I agree with him and I disagree with you. The last time I seen, him having some issues on the court is when he choked up Rudy Gobert, right? And his teammates was having a scuffle, and Draymond being the alpha, the aggressive on his team, his protector on his team, he seen the biggest guy on the court going after one of his friends, one of his teammates, right? He goes, takes him out. I'm okay with that. The thing is, when you're playing sports, it's battle versus battle. It's gladiator versus gladiator. Football, basketball, the same thing. It's a physical game. And everybody's competing at a high level. And when this happened, I remember you said, he needs some type of help. He needs this, he needs that. Everybody looks to, when something goes wrong with Draymond, it's like, he needs all this help and all this counseling. See, this is the problem, though, because there's some things where it may went too far with Draymond Green, right? The stepping on Sabonis, maybe all these different things. But the problem is when it happens, now everything else is close to that. If it's a hard foul, oh my God, he's guilty. And it's like, I don't know if you have ever friends that have been locked up or maybe have a criminal background, but just because you was once a criminal don't mean you always a criminal. And I feel like when Draymond Green, every time he does something on a court that's a foul or aggressive, they always go back to what he did in the past. So if I had 4 prior cases I did wrong, right, but I have 12 other cases, all the other 8, I did it, I'm guilty. And that's not the case. If you really watch this game and you watch that play, I'm sitting there like, there's no way this is a technical. The brother reached down, he pulls up, like every other basketball player, boom, and it happens, hits him in the face. It's sports. You're going to get hit in the face. You'll hit in the chest, the side, the arm, the rib. That's what it is. And I think if Draymond Green didn't have them prior situations, them prior suspensions, this right here would not be called a technical. And that's the truth of it. So when he's saying an angry black man, it's like, just because he got in trouble for other things in the past that might have been overly aggressive, every incident he's in, he's automatically guilty, and that's a prime example of it. So that's what he's talking about.
I think they're 2 separate things. I wholeheartedly agree with Shady on what Shady just said. Here's where I wholeheartedly agree with my dog 2-5. I do think Draymond's reputation, it precedes him.
It does.
1,000%. But when you build a career upon a reputation, you can't be mad when that reputation precedes you. Draymond Green was talking to Baron Davis, I believe, on his podcast after they beat the Rockets. And he was talking about Dylan Brooks. And he said, Brooks, if you want to be that guy, you got to always be that guy. After we beat you, don't now walk off the court without shaking our hands. You a punk. He used other words, but he said, you a punk. If you're going to be that guy, I'm that guy. If you're going to be that guy, you got to always be that guy. And that's what I'm suggesting is like, Shady's right. Draymond's reputation, it does exceed him, but Draymond has built a career off that reputation. Shady used the words, whether intentionally or incidentally, he said Draymond's an alpha. He's an aggressor. Aggressor. Okay, so you're an aggressive basketball player. Either way, that's the reputation that Draymond Green has built. To me, I just draw such frustration and aggravation, James Jones, when someone tries to hide behind the veil of a racial issue in society, because there are often legitimate ones, and people will become numb to a legitimate one if you try to talk about it when it's illegitimate.
Real quick before you go, do you think people who look at him on TV, fans, right, viewers of the NBA, and they watch Draymond Green, right, and the way they perceive him and the way that the narrative on him is, you don't think they say, man, that's an angry black man right there? You don't think they I'm
sure some, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So that's what he's probably, that's what he's probably talking about.
Number one, we live in a world to where all people do is judge. And Draymond Green understands that, right? Draymond Green is probably a phenomenal father. He's probably a loving father. He's probably all that. He's probably a great husband and all of that. So I don't even take this off the basketball court. I'm going to keep it on the basketball court. Draymond Green, the reason why I love you and would love to have you on my team is for all these reasons right here. It's because you are a dog and we need people like you on our team. There's a guy like this on every single NFL football team, right? There is a guy like this, and we love those guys on the team. But when certain situations like this happen, you can't play the victim.
Thank you.
That's my only thing. You cannot play the victim. I don't label you as no angry black man. I label you as a competitor, as a dog, and yes, you are going to make some stupid decisions, and yes, now, all them stupid decisions that you did in the past are going to follow you. That's just life. Whether they're not technicals, whether they are technicals, they are going to follow you. I don't look at it as angry black man. I look at it as Draymond Green. That's the way Draymond Green has played the game. That's the way Draymond Green should keep playing the game, because that's what the Draymond Green that his teammates love. So for me, I don't see angry black man because, like I said, off the court, you are probably a phenomenal man, father, husband, all of that. But on the basketball court, you cannot act like your priors don't matter to the referees, to the video cameras, to these technical fouls and all that. If you touch somebody with a finger, it's different than when Steph Curry does. Right? Steph Curry is going to get a regular foul. Draymond Green is not, just because the past. That's the life we live in, dog. Whether it's fair or not fair, that's the life we live in. So with Draymond Green, you can't act like you crazy to the fact of how you've been playing basketball, and all the things that you have done on the basketball court is not going to weigh into some of these dudes' decisions. And for me, that's fine. I would love to have you as a teammate, big dog. I absolutely would.
Judge Jones. Wow.
I ain't judging nobody.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Judging nobody.
Chime in, Slick.
Well, as the one white man up here.
Hey, hold us down, Slick. Hold us down, Slick.
I've known Draymond since he's come into the league. And when he came in and the first time that he kind of blew up, and I was standing next to him when, I can't remember what it was, but it was a big game and he had a big influence, and he was amazed at the number of text messages that he was getting. Like, first time that he got that flush of recognition, oh, dude, you're a player. So I've seen him evolve over the years as a player and as a person. And what I struggle with in this situation is you didn't get the technical foul because you were angry or because of how you reacted to the referees or any of that. You got the technical foul, which probably should have been a flagrant foul, because you hit somebody upside the head. And you can say it was accidental or I was just flailing, but we've got multiple incidents by Draymond Green of him flailing and hitting guys upside the head. And I've always looked at it as this is tactical on his part through the better part of his career, because he's always an undersized guy for the most part playing against bigger guys. So how do I create that sort of intimidation so that you're not beating me up and you're, despite being me being smaller, not as strong, whatever, that I can still play my game. Like, when this happens over and over and over again, how do you say it was just a basketball play? And then you're going to divert it from, I believe he's trying to change the narrative here. I'm going to divert it from, I'm hitting people, to you're judging me as a person. Mm-hmm. No, we're not. We're judging you as a basketball player whose limbs keep hitting people in the head on a regular basis, and we don't want that to be part of the game.
Why are you laughing, James? Why are you laughing, James?
Talking about limbs keep accidentally hitting people in the head. It's crazy to say that, though.
No, it's just Draymond's a fool, dog. He is.
But wait, why
more Draymonds in the world?
Wait, why you say it just happens to accidentally hit people in the head? But what can we say is so slick?
He is the king of accidentally on purpose.
But no, so y'all don't see what the problem is here, though?
Tell me, Shady.
Out of all y'all three, right?
Yes, sir.
I said I would love to have him on my team.
That's what I.
No.
I think it's calculated.
No more laughing. Seriously.
Okay.
The problem is, y'all three, everything I keep saying is what he used to do. His priors. Imagine if that was you, though. So you did something wrong 2 or 3 times, okay? Right? And every time something happens, we blaming you. Why you blaming me? Because you used to do this. If you watch real quick, a lot of the fouls he gets, or technicals, he's getting fouled in the play. That play right there, now read, that was a foul on him, and then he came through with it. That's basketball. That's football. You're going to get hit.
Shady, this is honestly...
Come on, man, you blame for what he used to do.
I think the reason I'm so frustrated with Draymond Green is because of Shady McCoy this morning.
Oh.
That's why I'm frustrated. Let's talk real for a second. Colvin, forget the play. Let's talk real for a second. Because Draymond Green has now thrown out that it is a racial agenda, Shady is now speaking from a race place instead of a basketball place. Yeah. The basketball place suggests Draymond has 201 technicals and 26 flagrants since entering the National Basketball Association. It's not because he did something 2 or 3 times, 2-5. He did something 200 or 300 times. But because Draymond Green has played this racial issue, now there are individuals like Shady McCoy who is highly, highly, highly sensitive to the racial issues and the prejudices that legitimately exist in America, and now people will conflate the 2 issues. Shady's right. There are legitimate racial issues, I would suggest, in this country, but they are not to be conflated with Draymond Green hitting people in the head. They are not to be conflated with Draymond Green elbowing people in the head. They are not to be conflated with Draymond Green punching Yusuf Nurkic or stepping on the chest of Sabonis. Those 2 things should not be conflated. But when Draymond tactfully, intelligently, and slyly, like a fox, plays the racial issue, then individuals that are highly sensitive to the racial issues in society, which genuinely do exist in society, might now make the mistake of conflating the 2.
So, out of 200, 300 times you talking about he got these technicals?
Yes, sir.
You don't think some of these are because of prior cases?
No question. No question.
So why are we not acknowledging that part? I keep saying this, and I don't know if y'all ever have any friends that have been in trouble with the law or whatever, but it's times where like, yo, if I have a background that I've done wrong and now I'll change my life around, I'm trying to do better, you don't want to see that. Because everything y'all keep talking to me about is what he used to do.
Let me ask you this.
That's a problem.
Draymond Green has never, because to what Shady has said, and Shady, I would suggest, understand this existence even more than I. Draymond Green has never publicly said he's trying to turn things around. He's never, I literally on a podcast, Shady, 2 days ago, he leaned into it after beating the Warriors. I'll show you the clip during commercial break. If we can get it, I'll show y'all as well before we do this conversation again. He leans into being who he is. He's not saying, look, man, I keep getting hit with these texts. I used to be a villain. I'm no longer a villain. I'm just trying to be a good guy in the National Basketball Association. I'm just trying to be a great team. He doesn't say that. Draymond Green is still saying, hey, y'all know who I am when I come around. So, Shady, if he was the person who was in this figurative courtroom and saying, well, Your Honor, I've turned my life around and I'm not, that's different. Draymond Green is still leaning into being the big bad wolf, which he is, which is why so many people love him.
He don't talk like that. He's not going to talk like that. Most people don't talk.
And not only that, though, even if you are like this, and like I said, I would love to have Draymond Green on my team, but even if you are like that, it's going to become situations to where you get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So, Draymond Green, to me, this interview is frustrating. I'm frustrated because, Draymond Green, what you do on the basketball court, this is how people view you. But sometimes, like Shady said, you might not always be guilty. So the few times you're not guilty is frustrating. Man, that wasn't my fault. Or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all watch it. Certain situations is not my fault, and you guys are making it seem like I'm an angry black man. So certain things frustrated. But Draymond Green, Draymond, I'm trying not to look. Draymond, come on, bro.
So there's, yeah.
Hey, for real though, hey, brother to brother though, hey, come on, bro. Like, for real, man. Hey, just embrace it, dog. Like, come on.
So there's two more. There's two more parts to this.
Yeah, Rudy was like, shouldn't have Rudy couldn't breathe. He like 7'6", he can't move.
They shouldn't have me on this block. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Draymond, hey.
Nah, but Rudy, why you gotta get move
It ain't none of them championships, and without you, we need teammates like you, but come on, bro. Go ahead, Slick.
So because I've seen him his entire career, here's the thing. One, the issue that I have with bringing up, I'm being painted as an angry black man and suggesting that's why he got the technical. No, you got the technical because you hit him upside the head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't because of your reaction.
That was a tech. You think you said that was a tech? Did the ref?
Yeah, it wasn't because he went after the refs afterward to complain about it. It was because one more time you flailed and you hit somebody in the head. And we've seen this before, and we don't want this to continue. And for everybody who's saying, well, he was getting out of the.
He was getting fouled.
Who else is hitting people in the head after being held? Steph Curry gets held all the time.
Right.
Are we seeing him whack people in the head? The other part is, this has happened in the last few years. This wasn't always his tactic. And I believe that a big part of it is he's not quite the same player that he was. And so he can't beat you just by his athleticism and his knowledge. I need to intimidate you. I need to do a little bit more in order to be the effective player that I am. And so, like, all of these incidents are over the last, 2 years. Prior to that, we didn't see this from him, for the most part.
Last thought,
I disagree with that. I think he's still affecting the game. The brothers had 18 points a game ago. He's playing well. He's controlling the tempo, the team. I like the way Draymond Green's
But those
playing.
are all basketball things. Like, why not stand on that?
The only thing I'm saying is, let me ask you a question. You have a problem with aggressive sports players?
No.
Okay, because you have some of them.
No.
And my thing, if you watch his last foul, like some of the stuff he does, I can't speak for.
Yeah.
He just slapped my man for the Sons of the. That was. Okay, but that's a case. That's a real case, right? The judge, the court, the lawyer, they're gonna say, yo, guilty. But everyone he's not guilty for.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to say is like, just because I had some priors before, that means every time I get any incident, I'm guilty.
That's fair. But don't make it angry black man.
Say that.
Just make it, I shouldn't be that.
It's so many words. He's saying like, oh, the angry black man's at it again. That's what. Yes, that's a lot to me.
I'm with Shady.
That's a lot to me.
I'm with Shady. If Draymond says that, I come on this show and say wholeheartedly agree.
Yep.
Wholeheartedly agree. Draymond Green is being judged in present day based upon prior actions. Now, I would also say use common sense. Technicals and flagrants are often subjective. And so if it's a subjective rule, the ref is going to internalize and interpret the reality based upon the past. That's what we do as human beings. You got kids, you got kids, you got kids. I got parents. Parents say, oh, well, you know what? My son is capable of this, so maybe my son did this. My son isn't capable of this, maybe my son didn't do that. That's what we all do. So I would just say, Draymond, use common sense. Had he said that, I'm with you, Shady, but don't make his words smarter than they were.
But it's the same thing. This is like you don't think the refs, you don't think the people at home watching the games, fans for the Warriors or other fans that's not for the Warriors, say, oh, there he is again, acting angry. Oh, yeah, can't control him.
There's people at home.
You don't think they saying that?
No.
So that's what he's saying.
100%.
So them refs and all that, oh, he's at it again.
Whoa, now
what?
But you got to divide there.
No, I'm not.
I have no doubt that there are people at home that look at him as an angry black man and judge him because of that.
And refs.
Right? Maybe some refs.
That's right.
Right? But don't take that and apply it to this situation.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.